Have you ever tried Orzo? Do you know what Orzo is? So while it might resemble rice, it's actually a pasta made from wheat, while as rice is a grain. Which one is healthier? Neither. But Orzo provides more protein and fiber. Do with that information what you will. Why is I'm crying? Don't worry about it, forehead. I'll be alright. Nah, let's get back into the video. Stay focused. Instead of water to blend up my tomatoes, I use Marsala, which is a cooking wine. I could have used the white cooking wine, but I prefer Marsala just for the color and the taste. Once I blend up some of the tomatoes, then I add the remaining. During this process, you can add onion, garlic, zucchini. You can add whatever you like to your sauce. Listen, I don't know what was wrong with that piece of sausage, but it had to go. I use grapeseed oil to base my pan. I usually use avocado oil or EVOO, but when I can't afford either of those, or should I say either, this is not English class. Anywho, speaking of Espanol, don't be afraid to use some of the stem of the cilantro, okay? It's very flavorful. You just be throwing it in the trash, don't you? And you also can use parsley. I just don't like parsley. It don't have no flavor. I feel like it's just for decor. This step is actually optional, but I do like to brown the sausage. It will also enhance the flavor because I'm going to use the drippings in the same pot for the orzo. So to my drippings and the grapeseed oil, I'm going to add some real butter, okay? Not margarine, not country crock. Listen, if you want to use your blue bonnet, listen, by all means, use your blue bonnet. I am a firm believer that is a thin line between drippings and burnt, okay? This, in my opinion, is drippings. It was on its way to burn, but it ain't. Okay, and then I add a whole box of orzo because, listen, we need leftovers. And you want to just brown your orzo similar to rice-a-roni. I know you didn't make some rice-a-roni before. Okay, so same thing. You put the butter in there, you brown it up a little bit, then you add you some agua. But listen, I'm not adding no water. I mean, I will eventually after I build up the flavor. So add your sausage back into the pot. Once you give that a mix or two, then you want to go ahead and get the tomatoes that we blended up with the cooking wine now. Okay, and then you pour it in there. Don't be asking for no measurements and recipes. Listen, I'm trying to show you how to do it without that. I added some Kinder's caramelized butter, couple of pinches of tomato bouillon, MSG, Google it, stop saying it ain't good for you, and the remaining of the cilantro that I cut up. You notice how I wasn't sneezing? Because it don't need to be that seasoned. Thank you. Now that we built up all of our flavors, now we gonna add some water. Now for measurement purposes, I added about I added about 3 cups total of liquid, okay? Because further down the line, we gonna add some coconut milk. This right here is called boursin. You don't have to use that, but you need you some to get it a little creamy. Alternatives, you can use Parmesan cheese, not the kind that shake up in the cabinet now. It got to be the, you know what I'm talking about? Real. Because I don't know if the kind that you keep in the seasoning cabinet even melts, do it? You probably know better than me, okay? Comment down below. Now, if you listen to your food, did you hear how it sounds? It's ready to be mixed or some liquid need to be added up in there. You see how my pot let me know that I needed to mix up that cheese because it was finna burn at the bottom. I'm trying to tell you. Ultimately, this is an art. So you do have to listen. You do have to observe all the things. You can't just be in there all willy-nilly now. And once you're on the right path, it'll calm right on down. Now notice how I turn my fire all the way on low because you want the orzo to cook properly. So you want to start off, well, I start off with a high heat. Maybe if you don't know what you're doing, start off on medium, okay? Once it's well combined, go ahead and put your top on it and leave it be. Check on it now within like 5 minutes, okay? I do like to let the drippings drip right up on in there because we want the liquid. Better, but not too much unless you're going for a soupy orzo because you can do that. Like I said, it's pasta. Okay, so I don't know why some of y'all are scared talking about, I don't know. What's wrong with orzo? Now, me personally, whenever I'm cooking, I need to see a lot of colors up in my meals. I like to go for green and red. So my orzo is just about finished. So I'm going to add some spinach, Maldon sea salt, and some red pepper chili flakes. At this point, you want to go ahead and fold in versus mix in. Did that make sense, forehead? Better like if you mix it in like you mixing the cake, it might not look presentable. I know you don't care about that, but I do. Plus, ain't nobody gonna try. You don't want to serve somebody and be like, just try it. I know it look nasty. Just try it. You don't want to do that. You want to put it in their face and they gonna be like, ooh, what is that? Now you got them. Reel them in. Say, oh, it's orzo. And I very well could have stopped right here, but why? You know what I'm saying? Add you a little coconut milk on a little, you know what I'm talking about? A little 1-2. Yes, you can use heavy whipping cream. Forehead. Now, once you fold the coconut milk in or whatever you gonna use, you finish. And I had already baked this bread. Well, bread sticks. And I didn't really like how they turned out. So I said, let me just put some cheese on top. You know what I'm talking about? A little green and red, like I said. This time I just used some little dry parsley and then some dry red chili flakes. This meal was a 10 out of 10 because everybody got a plate, including myself, and we even have leftovers. So for reference, I use 1 U-shaped Hillshire beef sausage, 1 pack of Orzo, a handful of spinach, and tomatoes. And then, of course, the cheese bread. Real good, real tasty. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.